everybody. So I figured out a way to add custom backgrounds. Microsoft Teams has it not so easy for everybody just yet, but there is a way. It will require probably some parent assistance just to check it out. But this way you could have a custom background like you're in a cafe or like you're on stage for our poetry cafe. So depending on what type of background you want to make sure it's in line with the theme. But I'm going to walk you through how to kind of work around the system. Eventually, they're going to have a button up here that'll say upload background. It'll be super easy. Until then, we just got to find a workaround. So I found a little tutorial that will allow us to do this. If yours is like mine, which I imagine it would be, I think it's because we don't have all of the like credentials and we're not given access to certain files and documents and things like that as part of a school district. I think that there's some restrictions in place, and to keep things safe and secure and making sure that nobody's messing with the settings in a way that would ruin it. I think that you'll run into the same problem that I have when I was just looking at tutorials. And so when I was just looking at different tutorials for adding into Microsoft Teams, what it said to do, and this is on a PC, so I have both a PC and a Mac, and I couldn't quite figure it out yet on the Mac, but I'm figuring it out on PC, and then I'll post another one later for the Mac. But you want to make sure that you have the actual Microsoft Teams app. So where it is on your desktop, that you can access the actual app. I am not sure if it will work from the other, from the web-based or not. I think that was where some of our kids were having trouble with just the standard backgrounds that are here. To access those, you would go to more actions and then show background effects. It's saying hide because I have them on right now. If you have not been able to do that yet, then you need to make sure you have the actual app downloaded to make sure that is an effect that you can do. So I have the Microsoft Teams app. What I need to do is I need to go to find the program. So I'm going to go to this PC. I'm going to go to Windows C. I'm going to go to my C drive, and then I'm going to go to Users. This is where I need to find my name, or perhaps it's your parent's name, whatever account you have the Microsoft team in. This is where you'll need a little bit of help. You can kind of just look through the different ones and see. What I ran into the problem here, though, and I think you guys will as well, is that the file that I need, which is appdata, does not show up on here. So if you're looking up different Microsoft tutorials on how to do this on yourself, you probably won't have access to all of those. But not to fear, I found a code that will allow you to do this on your PC. So up here where it has that folder, depending on what I'm clicked in, you can see there's even more things opened up here. So I'm just going to delete all of that and leave that open. And I'm going to type the % symbol and type in appdata and then put another % sign. Then I'm going to do a backslash and I'm going to write Microsoft. And you want to use a backslash for each space. So instead of putting a space, you're putting that symbol. I am being careful about all the capital letters at the beginning. I'm not sure if that has an effect or not, but it worked with me doing it that way, so I want to keep with that. Once I type that in, and I'll put that code there in the comments, you hit the enter button. It worked a second ago. Okay, so I just was able to fix it. Basically, when I was in that particular folder, it wasn't letting me because I was in a different program here. So I just went back to the main screen here and backspaced it and typed it in again up here. Oops. And then, I'm sorry, it's backgrounds, upload. And both of those are plural. Again, I'll post that code there for you. So these are the ones that I've gone ahead and added to my folder here. So when I go back into Microsoft Teams, there's all the traditional ones that they started with. And then if I keep scrolling down, I'm going to see the 3, such as Under the Sea that I added, or just the cafe setting, or then there's the stage. So depending on what you want, that's aligned with our cafe theme, go ahead and you can select one of those. So what I did, just to show you that step if you're doing this here, let's say I want to look for a restaurant background. So maybe I see one, or maybe I want to look for a coffee shop background. So maybe this would be one that I could find where it looks a little bit different. I could do, there's so many to choose from here. Let's say I want to do this one and pretend that I'm in the restaurant. What I'm going to do is I'm going to right click it and I'm going to save the image. We're going to save the image as I like to save things straight to my desktop so I can see them. You can rename it if you want to rename it so that way you know what the file is. Otherwise, save it to your desktop. And then when I scroll down, I'm leaving this window still open from where I went with that code. And here it is, that photo. And I just click and I drag it in there. And now it's in my files. If I go over to Microsoft Teams, it might not be there just yet. Give it a minute. Or what you might have to do is, let's see if it loaded. Yep, it did load. So you just had to close that and refresh it. And then I can apply it here. And now I'm in the cafe. So this, again, is the tutorial for using it on the app through a Windows computer. I am still working on the Mac computer, but as soon as I figure that one out, I will share a tutorial on that as well. This is something fun that you can definitely play around in. I think that having the, sorry, I'm outside, the sun just came out, having all of these backgrounds, and I can even send a couple photo files of some suggested ones that you guys could use, and I'm thinking for our projects for next week and the week after that. I don't want to give too much away yet, but we'll be exploring some different places, and I think that having backgrounds like this one will be great for that part. So in the meantime, if you want to test it out for our call tomorrow, you can test it out. Again, just make sure that it is an appropriate background. It is one that does not have any violence or any guns or anything like that. Anything that's, you know, during the cafe, it is going to be, we want to set it up to be more like a professional event. During some of our kind of just casual class meetings and things like that, we can, you know, be in space and be in, you know, oh, look, they added a new one. Like a science lab or a robotics lab. So we can play around with those while we're in our Teams meetings, but for Friday I would like to request that you are sticking to one of the ones that is either here or one of the ones that you uploaded based on the cafe. So if you have any questions, this is a tricky step-by-step tutorial, so I will post the code again, that shortcut code. So just to remind you, you need to have the Microsoft Teams app. You need to be on a PC or a Windows computer for this to work. So again, you go to your PC and then backspace this, and then you type in that code, and that's what you'll do. I'm sorry, I minimized it instead of. So if I just go back up here, delete it, %, and I already forgot it, appdata, %, and that's where you can add them. You can even go here, you can get a new one from somewhere. I find it just easiest to go straight from the desktop and do it that way. I will post that % code for you in the comments here, and if there's anything else that you're having trouble with, just be patient with it, play around with it, get an adult to help you, and I will do my best to walk you through it. Hope you have a good day.